And then we have EI, that's the emotional impact. Every trip should have a wow factor. That's something personal to your client, very trip specific. You want them to feel your presence when on arrival, wanting them to know you've listened. I would say you want to date your client. And again, that's slowing down, picking up the phone, asking open-ended questions, the art of listening, as I mentioned before, trying to find out their passions, what drives them. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in training, I had a lead given to me, and the gentleman did not want to date me. He was very transactional as far as, I know what I'm doing. I want this weekend away in Miami. He knew the hotel, but he knew I could bring added amenities and possibly an upgrade. So I was a little nervous being newer. Julie Danziger, a partner, was overseeing my work, and I had to think, how can I make a connection to the client? So I did a quick search, found a LinkedIn profile, saw that he loved crossword puzzles. So I made a quick welcome letter out of crossword puzzle for him. And I have to tell you, it was the first time when he arrived that he picked up the phone, actually called me, thanked me for the upgrade, but really was surprised and touched that I knew he had a passion for crossword puzzles. And I felt it was my job to show I had more value than that upgrade. I wanted to impress Julie also to make sure they knew I understood my training, but it really mattered to me as an advisor, who I want to be. And I don't want to be just, they're using me because I have a connection and can give them an upgrade. I want to make a personal connection. And I think that's really important when you focus on the ingredients, the things that someone's passionate about. We say sell aspirations, not destinations. We are matchmakers, not just to that hotel. And I didn't even have to figure out the hotel. He told me, I want the Miami edition, right? But it's our job, if someone doesn't know the hotel, find out that hotel. But beyond that, what's going to connect them to that destination, to themselves, to the people they're traveling with? And again, that's specializing in them. If you don't date them and let them tell you about them, you will never be able to give that added personal touch.
Yeah, it's incredible what you can find out online too, like in people's online presence. Because he was reluctant to share much things personal with you. He just wanted a hotel room, and you made it so much more simply by searching online.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, would that be your advice for people who do get those clients who just want a transaction? It would be to still go that extra mile, because you don't know, you can make an impact even though they seem maybe a little bit closed off.
I do. I think that is our job. And, sometimes I also, depending on how you get your lead, I've had referrals too, and had this where it's a referral from a friend. So I might go back to the friend to say, look, I can tell they're very busy, but tell me, is there something special? So I think using as many resources as possible. I personally prefer to have that conversation. Again, to really learn, we say the why of the trip and not the where. So again, that's that aspiration instead of destination. And it lends itself to opening up a ton of questions. And sometimes it's making you a better advisor, because if they may tell you, I'm going here because I want to see the whales, you have it, and then realize it's not whale season. And they didn't realize there was a whale season, so you're also guiding them to make better choices. Or again, in those conversations, when you ask, what do you love? And you hear they love remote, or they love something really adventurous, and you start having a relationship. What is adventure? What is wellness? I mean, sending somebody to a very strict resort where you're hiking all day and eating very clean, that may not be that person's interpretation of wellness and being active. Active could be, oh, well, we went on a small hike, or I walked around Rome instead of taking a car. So again, understanding, taking time to ask questions and asking the why of a trip, I think saves you and your client a lot in the end and helps build a better relationship.